know you guys are very into it.
Okay, that's right.
Guys, we're done sharing now. Bring the focus back to the front. Bring the focus back to the front. So, you guys have more time to share with each other after. And buddies don't mean, just out of this. You guys are accountability partners. So, let's get some sharing. I heard a lot, I didn't hear any stories, but I heard like a lot of passion. So, and you guys want to share with us the situation and how you could approach it, how you've been approaching it? Can we get one person to share? One excited person?
Again?
Focus out.
Alright, so the situation I was telling my partner was a situation where I was completely unhappy, I was angered. I graduated from high school and most of my family didn't come. Just my father. My mom was there for a little bit, she had a flight to Italy, so she left. And then my aunt, just one of my aunts. But I have so many more family. My brothers, as most of you know, my brothers didn't come. One was in Dubai already, so none of them came. And I was really, really unhappy with it. I was very angered. To list the feelings, I was very angered. I was very confused why they wouldn't come, or they had noticed. Everybody had noticed. And I was extremely pissed when I found out. Like, I got off stage to see my family that wasn't there, and I was upset. But the ways, it says say or write the ways you could respond. So I could respond the way I responded, which was anger at the time, confusion, just overall, like, why? Like, I didn't get why. Like, do they not care? So that was me. And there's other ways to respond, which I eventually got to, which was the understanding part. Being more understanding and being more open-minded about it. Like, okay, I understand it's my graduation, but it's high school, and I know they hold me up to a high regard because I was born here and they weren't all born here. And when they graduated high school, it was a big thing because they weren't born here. They were from a second country. It was huge. So me, I have all the tools. I should be killing it in high school. So that's what I began to understand. And I began to understand that they had their own things too. Isa having a family, which is one of my brothers, he was sick, and there was just a few other things. Hannah never make it because he was in Dubai working. Jacob didn't make it, so I took the approach of taking it in a more understanding way. Like, maybe it's not how I think it is. They do care, they obviously do care, but things come up, and I could have just stayed mad at them forever and said, you guys don't even care about me, but that's not true. I know it's not true, and it took a little bit to get to that. So I'm gonna get to the last one, which is what action do you promise yourself to take so that you can react the way you would, like when this situation or other situations arise. So, and this is something I carry out every day because of that experience and many other experiences. I'm more understanding and more open-minded and not look at it one way, but I look at it from a different perspective and really try to understand it, because it might not be the way you think it is. And this is relevant to everybody. If you're upset about something, just take yourself out of it for a second and just look at all the views it could be and try to be more positive about it, because you can be negative about it and then it won't get you anywhere. Just get over it and move on.
Think of it too as hell yeah. That's awesome. Guys, I want to remind you guys that the only way that we're gonna get the max out of this experience is that if we share. And Mito, thank you. That was great. And I encourage you guys to share. When we asked for sharing, nobody raised their hand. But look how great that was. He's 20 years old.
Don't worry, Mito, it's a different workshop.
So I encourage you guys to share. That was a great story. Thank you, Mito. Who's next? Hey, can somebody pass this mic?
Hi guys, my name is Idala. I'm another 20-year-old. What I wanted to share was this situation is about when I took my real estate classes last year. So I actually had to take my real estate classes twice. So when last year when I was taking them, I was really unhappy at the school I went to. I just kind of passed it. I went to the classes and I took the test and I passed, but I didn't get any knowledge. I didn't learn anything. So I went the whole year and I started taking my state test, I think in May, and the test expired like in July. So I only had just a few months to kind of take the test. And then we went on a 20-day vacation, so I was like, okay, that didn't help at all. So I ended up, after that time, I took the test 2 days before it was about to expire, and I failed, and I think I got a 70. You need a 77 to pass the test. And I was so angry and frustrated because I was like, I only needed 7 more points. Like, I only needed 7 questions right, and I would have gotten my real estate license. And I got even more frustrated because I've been working at my job, which is a real estate agency, for 4 years. So I'm like, why am I not passing? Like, what's going on? Like, what am I doing wrong? So when I got over all of it and stopped crying and everything because of it, I started realizing, like, what I was saying too is I kept telling myself that I wasn't smart enough for this, or that, like, why am I going to get my real estate license if I'm going to school to become a chemist? Like, they have nothing to do with each other. So it's like, why am I even putting all my time into doing this and all of that when it makes no sense? Like, what am I going to do with either or? But now I realize, like, if I get my real estate license, I want to own my own company one day. Like, I want to own a factory. I want to own all of this stuff. And it's like, having my real estate license can help me do all of that, because I'm going to know what to do. And I'm not going to let anybody, like, rip me off or anything. Like, I'm going to know exactly what to do. So now, what I'm telling myself is, like, I made the Dean's List twice in a row. It's like, why can't... It's like, if I can make the Dean's List, why can't I take a 110 question test? Why can't I pass it? And, like, I keep telling myself that now. It's like, I just passed the classes again, my second time taking them, and I got an 81 on the test. And I'm like, so why can't I go now and take the test and get my real estate license? I'm like, I can do it.
Yes,
So I just I just switched my mindset from being angry and being frustrated, and just feeling jealous of everyone else who kind of kept passing. And now I switched it to, I can do it. I'm going to do it. I'm gonna get my license. I'm gonna be able to do what I want to do.
All right, who's next? Who's sharing next? Guys, again, the only way you're going to get something out of this is if we share. Every story just brings everybody up.
Yes.
Okay, my name is Chris. So I was having a hard time trying to come up with a situation that I was unhappy with, because I was like, is it supposed to be like present in my life right now that I'm unhappy, or something about my personality that I'm unhappy with? So I was trying to narrow it down, and we got to talking, and I think it was more about just expressing myself. Doesn't matter with who, because I mean, I could be at work and be closed off. I could be with my family and be closed off. And then a lot of the times it's not even like purposeful. You know, sometimes I'm just in my own head. I could be sitting in a room full of people, but I'm kind of just thinking about something else. So something I'm trying to do is, oh well, how do you feel when I'm in that situation? So I kind of feel like I'm offending people because I'm not as what's the word? Like energetic. Like my energy isn't as high as everyone else in the room, or maybe I'm not being a good conversationalist to the person. So that kind of makes me feel like awkward. I feel like awkward a lot of the times, just because I can't relate to the person who's sitting in front of me. So ways that I could respond is just to be more present in the moment, rather than thinking about what I did yesterday or what I'm going to do later on. Just sitting with the person in front of me, just being focused in the moment is just what I would do moving forward, right? That's how I want to respond. What actions do you promise? So moving forward, I kind of just want to be open with people, be a better friend, be a better person to kind of communicate with, and again, or just in myself focus on what I'm doing there. Like even though I'm in the room, just interact more with the people around me rather than just being in the room. Kind of just be a factor in the way. Thank you.
You too. So guys, basically what I heard was a lot of people really getting into situations that they have the opportunity to change their attitudes on. So we heard from Mito about his graduation. This is about her real estate class. That's about her real estate class. And Chris just about his way of being with his family and people. And really making decisions and making choices comes down to responsibility. As adults, do we all have responsibilities by a show of hands? A lot of them, right? Do we all make decisions by a show of hands? They're not all, as simple as, I just want to pick the color on this car. No, to some people that would be a big decision. They could be huge decisions. But what they all come down to is a get to versus have to attitude. So when our mindset is full of I have to do this, I need to do that, I have to take care of my kid, I have to pay this bill, we flood our minds with a more negative way of thinking. And our choices could be influenced by that negative way of thinking. So where are our choices coming from? Are they coming from a place of fear? Are they coming from a place of happiness? For example, if there's a person in a relationship that is under abuse, that is suffering abuse every night, they go home, they're getting hit, they're getting verbally abused, and if that person decides to stay, that's a choice. Even by not making a choice, you're making a choice. You chose not to choose. But that person that's staying, that we always say, why don't we just leave? There's something else inside. There's a fear that comes from making that choice. It's not just a fear of just leaving. It's more of a fear of maybe being alone. Maybe they're afraid that they're not likable. So when we have a have to attitude, we get into that mindset of using fear. Maybe fear that you want to start the next business and you don't have the money. The fear of maybe not passing your next real estate test. And when you make that shift to a get to attitude, you change your entire perception on decisions.